do, but there's also, you can't just stop cold turkey when you've been on shooting heroin for 3 months, and that's what the doctor told me. I'm gonna lose my kid.
I ran the plate, and then I ran the registered owner of the plate. I could see that the driver was a white female who matched the description of the registered owner. She had a suspended driver's license, so I stopped her. When I stopped her and walked up to the car, well, it took her a while to stop, but when she finally stopped and I walked up to the car, I saw 2 passengers in the car that I had recognized from prior experiences where myself and Officer Cooper have locked them up for heroin in the past. So I knew that the only reason they would be in that area is to either buy or shoot up heroin. It's done, hop out. Get out of the car, out of the car, out of the car. What'd you just hide up your skirt?
Nothing.
Turn around. Get them in handcuffs. She just shoved something up the front of her skirt.
I did not. I was grabbing my ID. Find it.
I went back, ran him. The female driver, she had a warrant. It was the registered owner, so she was suspended prior. When I walked back up to the car, as I got to the back of the car, I could see her making a lot of movements around her lap, like she was reaching around, maybe trying to hide something. And I saw that she had a spoon sitting on her lap and what appeared to be hypodermic needles that she was trying to conceal from us as I walked back up to the car. But what are you doing out here on heroin at 6 months pregnant?
Well, I didn't realize I was pregnant. Everything was normal until I was about 3 months along. I just kept getting sick.
Okay.
And I went and she said I'm pregnant. She told me don't kick the heroin cold turkey. I'm supposed to be getting on Subutex or Suboxone. I can't afford it. I don't have insurance. I've been buying Suboxone off the street, but sometimes I can't find them.
Okay. So you didn't find out you were pregnant until you were about 3 months pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does it seem like it's a good idea for you to be 6 months pregnant out here trying to hide
not.
things from the cops
Absolutely
and buying
not.
heroin and having needles and
No,
spoons?
sir. No, sir.
Okay. How do you think, I mean, you realize the consequences for your baby, right? You realize what can happen.
I do, but there's also, you can't just stop cold turkey when you've been on shooting heroin for 3 months, and that's what the doctor told me. I'm gonna lose my kid.
Okay.
And now I'm probably going in jail, and I probably am gonna lose the kid.
What do you mean lose the kid?
You can't just be on heroin and just stop. Your body DTs, I'm gonna have a miscarriage.
How long have you been on heroin? How many years?
Well, I was clean for 2 years. I just relapsed.
Like how long ago?
About 8 months ago.
8 months ago you relapsed? So before you were pregnant, you started relapsing?
Right.
Okay.
I didn't even realize I was pregnant until I was about 3 months along, because I probably would have, I don't really believe necessarily in abortion, but I believe that would be the better option.
Then
I
to carry a
probably
baby
would
while
have took
shooting
care of
heroin?
it, right. But it was already, I was too far along.
So
And I have tried to kick it cold turkey, and it literally feels like somebody is ripping my stomach out.
Yeah, it's rough. From what I've heard, obviously I've never tried heroin, but heroin is an addictive drug that just gets a hold of you. A lot of people start with pills and then end up on heroin. And her being 6 months pregnant just made it that much worse, especially when she was talking about the doctor telling her that if she would stop cold turkey, she'd lose the baby. And her struggles with trying to get on Suboxone, trying to go to the Suboxone clinic. Suboxone doesn't necessarily take the urge away from doing heroin, the physical addiction from it. It just kind of takes the edge off. And her being pregnant and having those needles on her, it's sad that she's fallen that far in life to where now she has to go out every day and buy heroin and shoot up heroin in order to keep herself even functioning normally. I mean, she said that she doesn't have the heroin, she gets sick, she throws up, she has really bad withdrawals within 10 hours, 12 hours not having heroin, and that's a pretty painful and strong addiction to have.
Remember the last time you arrested me? I was with Dan and his girlfriend in their car.
Yeah.
I went to jail, he walked.
Because he didn't have anything on him. You guys passed out at the BP at 3 and Fall Creek.
That was that girl stuff too that he went for that time.
But I'm done with that. I did my time and everything, and I'm doing Suboxone. I go right down there to the Suboxone clinic every day.
It doesn't change the fact that there was a needle underneath your seat. It doesn't change the fact that it was underneath your seat.
She told you it's her car and it's her needle. It's not mine, sir.
You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like she's covering for you. Because she knows she's going to jail regardless, because she tried to shove a bunch of needles and spoons up her person. So it sounds to me like she's covering for you to keep you out of going to jail because you got a prior for it.
That is not true. It's my shit.
Yeah, I've had prior experiences with him Every time it seemed that the heroin we found or the needles we find aren't his. That seems to be his go-to story. And he wasn't too concerned about her going to jail. He was more concerned about, hey, I don't need to go to jail. It wasn't my needle, even though it was found directly underneath his seat, to the point where nobody could have put it there except for him. He's an addict too. I mean, he says he's on Suboxone, but there's no good reason for him to have a needle underneath his seat if he's not still using. And that's sad too. I mean, the baby's his. Supposedly, she's 6 months pregnant with his child, and he's more worried about saving himself rather than his pregnant girlfriend going to jail.